Maybe I should start crying on camera. That'll get us views.
I feel like every intro that I've edited together has just been you saying, I feel like we should just start crying. Or maybe we should just be nude. Maybe I should just fucking kill you. Maybe you should just commit to something.
Hi, my name is Ellie. Welcome to Regan's Rants and Raves. And I hate myself.
Okay, I'm Alec.
No, you're not.
I feel like I never get to say who I am.
Everybody
Not because
knows who
you
you
don't
are.
tell me to, but because I don't think about it. What are we talking about today?
Talking about the Amityville horror.
Which one?
The original one.
The 1979 movie?
Yes.
Based on the 1977 book.
Yes, based on the real life things that happened.
Starring the father of Thanos.
He is like a snack in this movie. I feel like we should have an entire
Charles Manson in
compilation
this
of
movie.
when Ellie thirst traps other people. I didn't even do the intro correctly to this.
Do you want to redo it?
Yeah, kinda.
Okay.
Are you gonna keep what I fucked up on?
It depends on how funny I find it while I'm editing.
Is that how a lot of things get kept?
Pretty much.
I like that about you.
Relevance and humor.
Welcome to Regan's Rants and Raves. My name is Ellie. I'm your hostess with the mostest, and today we'll be bitching about the Amityville horror. The original. I wish that I was dead. Please just hit me with a car.
You okay?
No! James Brolin could sit on my face.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
That's what I'm about now. But like this version of James Brolin, not James Brolin now. I'm more into Barbra Streisand now.
Okay.
By the way, they're married.
Okay.
It's one of my favorite things about James Brolin, is that he's married to Barbra Streisand.
Okay.
You're welcome. Hi, Alec. What'd you think of this movie?
So this actually wasn't the first time I've watched this movie. I watched it maybe 5 years ago. I remember my sister-in-law was like a real big fan of the story, so I decided to watch the movie, see what it was all about.
Yeah.
And wasn't really a fan of it then. I can kind of appreciate it more now, but it's not something I would want to watch again.
So, I'm obsessed with a lot of the Ed and Lorraine Warren cases, just
Yeah.
because of not the Conjuring stories, but like what actually went down with all of them. This is one of their cases, and that's why I was really into this story in itself. And this film makes me laugh a lot. Which, in horror, that's its own bag of, like, horror movies that I like because they make me laugh.
Yeah, like, you turn on that, like, the behind-the-scenes featurette after we watched the movie, and, like, even James Brolin was talking about this one line delivery where he thought he went a little too far.
And we cackled at it whenever because we watched the movie together yesterday.
Yeah.
And we cackled at that. It's tearing me apart or something like that. And
Like
it just
I'm losing
happens
my
fucking
mind.
randomly.
Yeah.
Like he was sitting in a chair, just kind of like staring, and then immediately starts to scream. And it was so, like, unprovoked.
His co-lead has a similar outburst earlier in the movie while sleeping.
She got shot in the head!
And, like, it
At least I think that's what it was.
Yeah, that was it. Like, she woke up screaming,
What the hell?
she was shot in the head!
And the thing is that...
That actually happened. Like
Like, it did.
yeah.
Like, that was...
Like, they're talking about actual murders that happened.
And that's where it toes a weird line.
Yeah, because, like...
People actually died.
People actually did die. That is a fact.
Here is this comedy of a horror movie.
Yeah.
It's not a comedy.
It's not.
But it kind of is.
It's just kind of riding the line.
It is riding a weird line, because I do like this movie, and I like certain aspects of it. But then again, it does make me laugh.
Like, those murders happened just, like, 7 years before this movie was released.
And so it was still fresh. It's kind of like, this is completely different, but like how they did the Selena movie a year after she had passed.
Yeah.
Like, still real fresh. I feel like this was fresh enough to still be a little bit unsettling.
Yeah.
Not like it is now, or that happened so long ago, there is no, like...
It's like Will Smith. Like, they still knew it was fresh. Like...
You're such a fucking asshole.
So how about you cover the events that unfold
Murder!
in the story? Yes, there was murder.
That's it.
And then, like, 2 years later, a family moved into the murder house. And goings-on went on.
And shit went down.
And then they left their house after, like, 2 weeks.
They only lived in this house for, like, a month.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. A month and some change, I'm pretty sure. The actual family, like the actual Lutzes, I think that's what I think that's what happened. It's been a very long time since I've, like... I get into weird holes. I get into weird holes about horror movies all the fucking time. I get weird holes about true crime shit. Like, when the fucking Act came out, I did watch so many fucking videos on, like, what actually fucking went down compared to the TV show, which was great. You still need to see it. So, in the original story, the older brother of the family, so, like, the oldest son...
He was about 20.
I think
20-ish.
so. Yeah. Killed his entire family at 3:15 in the morning. How we talked about this, how nobody woke up, how nobody fucking... We talked about that for a bit last night.
The family of the heaviest...
Because there was no silencer on the gun.
No.
There was, like... This was also living in a neighborhood, too. It wasn't like a house in the middle of nowhere where nobody really would have heard it.
Yeah, no,
it's not just hillbillies being hillbillies.
Yeah, like you can watch...
Shooting guns, I don't know.
You can watch videos of people, like, going and, like, driving by the house because they're idiots. And they're surrounded by other houses. So.
Okay, so that's something... Okay, now that you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Don't fuck... If somebody fucking lives there, like, stop it.
Yeah.
They literally had to change the way the house looks because of the fact that so many people would drive by it. And I get why. The curiosity definitely is there.
They took away those iconic windows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just so that way it would kind of like... But the house shape is still like that. I think it looks like a barn to me.
Kind of, yeah.
But, like, the house shape is still there. It does not give you the goddamn right to go on their fucking property or film their house. People live in there. They could have kids. You're putting that on the fucking internet. Like, we watched this stupid-ass little bitch of a YouTuber last night fucking do it. And I got immediately fucking angry. Don't go onto their fucking property and film. That's not cool. It's one thing to drive past.
Another thing to drive past several times.
Because they went past, like, fucking, like, 15 times.
Yeah, no, like, the kids said, like, we're going back around one more time, or as many times as we want to. No, don't do that.
No, that's just fucking weird.
You saw the house. Go get lunch now.
I get it, because I'm curious as fuck. Always. Because it's always been a house I've wanted to see, but, like, I wouldn't do that. That's a whole... I don't think I'd film it, either, and put that shit on the internet. They had to, like... I think it was years after the Lutzes lived there, they changed the fucking address. Like, they changed the street.
They paid a lot of money to change the address, just because...
People would fucking do that.
Yeah, paranormal investigators keep, like, harassing the place.
Which, I get it. Again, curiosity. It's there. It eats us all up. But also...
People live there.
People live there. That's a respect thing.
Yeah.
Don't fucking do shit like that. Just the same thing. I also watched a video recently of somebody, So, as we know, Hocus Pocus was filmed in Salem. There are many houses still in Salem. Well, they're still there, but people live in them that were filming locations in the movie. Mm-hmm. And people are very rude by going up on their fucking porch, taking, like, that's a limit.
Another big thing, more recent, when I went out to Santa Fe a few years ago, there's no airport. There's a small airport in Santa Fe, so you can't really land there. So I had to fly into Albuquerque and then take a bus to Santa Fe. And in Albuquerque, that's where Breaking Bad took place, and it was shot there. You can go on a Breaking Bad tour there. I didn't go on that because I've never watched Breaking Bad.
Neither did I.
You can go swing by the Walter White house, and that house gets harassed a lot by fans. Like, throwing pizza up on the roof because that was a thing in the show.
But people live there.
Yeah, people fucking live there.
That's...
Why?
I mean, it also comes... Okay, so there's also the other double-edged sort of, you bought said house, you knew what came with it, but still does not give you... Not that I agree with that statement, but that's the other... Mm-hmm. Like, you bought the Amityville horror house. You bought that house. I don't know what you expected to happen to you, but I don't agree with that at all. But that's just the other viewpoint that people have had. Let's swing back. They only ever happened to the fucking Lutzes. They only ever happened to this one family.
They said the family claims that whatever was doing that followed them.
Yeah, that was the claim. But you have to understand how much money this movie made, how much their book release made, all that kind of stuff on this possibly fabricated story that they put together. And now,
we'll cover that.
And then what I don't remember is, because I've seen footage of it, the Anna Lorraine Warren, like them walking through the fucking house. I have a friend who knows their nephew. So I've heard through a weird grapevine of stories that they've said, and from what I've heard, don't fucking quote me, that a lot of it was fucking faked.
Oh yeah.
For press, publicity kind of thing. Take with that what you will. Do you think it actually
No.
Like the George... Okay, so like the Lutz family... Do I think people, actually died in that house? Yes, I do, obviously. There's a body count.
Yeah.
But like...
No, like that's a documented criminal case that there was a mass murder there. But the portal to hell and the Red Room... Like, the Red Room was a real thing.
Yeah.
But like, it was just like a small little thing. There wasn't a gooey portal to hell that your dog could pull you out of.
Well, yeah. But do you... Okay, so how far into ghosts do you believe in?
Practically none.
And then there's also this weird thing that because it's this demon, there's a lot of Christianity bullshit involved in this as well. It's all a weird little ball thing. Do I believe ghosts are real? Yeah, absolutely. Do I think people can be possessed by them? Probably. I don't see why not. I think it sounds fun. Fuck it, let's go do that today.
You and I used to work with a local theater, and they make a lot of money off of these paranormal investigations, where it's literally just a guy bringing you in the middle of the night, giving you a tour of the theater, and there's fucking nothing going on in that fucking theater. We both know that.
It's piping hot tea. This is a classic. 70s horror is my favorite.
Also, just the story itself is like the most famous like haunted house story.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah.
And it spurred a lot of other haunted house movies.
How many movies are there just based on this particular story?
I'm pretty sure like 9, because I was looking it up because I really wanted to do a series, which I'm actually still thinking about doing with us. Would do like a full, and all their cases a lot of their big famous cases have been made in the movies. The Haunting in Connecticut, obviously the fucking Conjuring, but this is a pretty big case for them as well, which people don't ever fucking think about, that the Amityville Horror was a case that they fucking investigated, and the fact that it could be all faked. And the fact that they could have played along in that also is just a lot of tea that I really like to fucking dive deep into. Like, how much else is fake?
On the topic of the Amityville Horror and its authenticity, the Lutz family lawyer is on record as saying the entire story was made up with a few bottles of wine.
That's what they had said in an interview that we watched last night.
And I'd read that
well, not
before.
Interview, but it was in a video that we watched last night.
Yeah, and I'd read it before, and there's a
lot
of
But they swear to their fucking grave that this was a real thing that fucking happened to them.
I mean, I could swear to my grave that I've got a 3-foot schlong swinging behind
I know.
my legs, but like...
But I'm just...
if
No, but I'm just saying...
actual evidence, then...
Exactly.
Yeah.
But how much evidence can you actually provide to a ghost story?
Yeah. I don't know, and like the big thing that...
and a possession, technically.
The big thing that believers point to is, why would they leave their, like, $80,000 house after a month?
Brain deals. Why do you think YouTubers say... money. The money from selling that story of the Amityville Horror House that had this huge, horrible murder in it.
I think... this is just completely, like, shooting shit out of my asshole. But in the movie...
Me too.
In the movie, the father of the family, they make it clear that he's definitely going through some money troubles. Like, he owns a business, and it's not doing so well since they moved.
What
and
was even the business?
I don't know.
Somebody please explain to me, because I could never, watching the movie, I was not picking up what they were putting down when it came to... I could have just not watched it closely enough.
Yeah. And, like, he owed some money to, like, a caterer for his brother-in-law's wedding, and, like, I did all the math for the inflation on those numbers from 1977 to today, and $80,000... That's what they spent for their house.
Yeah.
That's over $400,000.
And I think that was a real number of what the Lutzes spent for their house, too.
Yeah.
I think that was the actual number.
Yeah, that's over $400,000 a day.
In that beautiful New York home. It's a beautiful house.
Oh, yeah. And the caterer, what he owed him, because the check bounced, it was $1,500, but today that's like $3,500. So it's a lot. I think... if there was any legitimate reason why they left their house and just had to cover their ass with some bullshit story, it was financial shit.
Yeah.
Financial reasons.
I have another book goal that I need to fucking read, is I wanted to read this one fucking book. I'm so interested in this fucking story. Even if it's not true, the fabrication, I'm just so fucking interested in the Amityville Horror. But back to the actual movie. What did you think of the actual movie, not just the story?
So, the performances are kind of all over the place from our two leads. But they did do a pretty decent job, all things considered. I think James Brolin did really well as a guy who was just fucking losing his mind. I don't know if this came out before or after The Shining. Stanley Kubrick's The Shining.
But another thing you'd have to look up.
Yeah. Oh, let's fact check that right now.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay, so this movie, The Amityville Horror, came out in 1979, and Stanley Kubrick's The Shining came out in 1980, 1 year later. Jack Nicholson and James Brolin's characters kind of have a similar story going on.
They do.
Yeah.
The axe thing with that door. The Here's Johnny axe thing.
Yeah, that happens in this. He doesn't...
No, he doesn't say that, but I'm just saying that's immediately what I thought of when the white door and the
Yeah.
axe going through it.
Yeah.
That's immediately, I think, what anybody thinks of.
Middle-aged white guy with a family, moves family into a new property, and goes insane.
Same. I mean,
And there's an axe
moving
involved.
is really hard and very stressful.
Also, in the Amityville Horror, they talk about it being like on Sacred Indian Burial Ground 2, and...
The Ketchum House. Yeah. They're saying it was
there.
built onto the Ketchum House. Now, we need to fucking fact check that. See
This
if it was
entire goddamn movie.
oh my god. Like, is that actually a real fucking thing that they built this house there?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think James Brolin did better than Jack Nicholson because Jack Nicholson just played Jack Nicholson.
Who is a fantastic actor.
Yeah,
and
he
I
is.
could watch him open paint jars
Yeah.
for a solid hour and a half and be fascinated just because I love Jack Nicholson. So, like, I can't...
Imagine a video of Jack Nicholson opening paint jars, that whole, like...
Oh, that
in
face.
1980, I met Cher.
What did you think of the kids?
I was kind of confused about the whole, like, whose was whose situation the entire time.
I think in the actual story, she had remarried, obviously. I don't remember if he had, like, passed away or they got divorced. Like, Dad was just not in the fucking picture.
Yeah.
She married new guy. Then they bought this house. So those are her kids.
All three of them are her kids?
Yeah, with X something or other.
Okay. They were all really funny. Especially the little girl with her imaginary friend. The scene with the babysitter was pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
When she gets-
That babysitter was actually pretty phenomenal.
When she gets stuck in the closet.
The scream crying, and then you
Yeah.
felt bad for her just because of the braces. So, did you watch the Ryan Reynolds one?
No, this is the only Amityville horror movie I've ever seen.
What they did with Jodie in that one and what they did in Jodie with this one are very different.
Really?
Yeah. So they gave Jodie an actual face in the Ryan Reynolds one, and this one they just made her
It's a ghost.
a ghost.
Yeah.
So that you don't see her
Yeah.
do things, which I think I liked a lot more in this one.
So I remember reading up on the story like a couple months ago, and I can't remember if Jodie and the pig demon are supposed to be the same entity. And I don't think the movie makes it very clear either, because the little girl, like Jodie, the imaginary friend, the ghost, she says she's like beautiful, right?
Mm-hmm.
So not a pig demon.
Or
Or maybe
I could be a pig demon and I still think I'm cute. So like I don't know.
It's called body positivity.
Yeah, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
I have no idea, but the pig demon was ridiculous looking.
Like, that's the thing I remembered watching. That's the thing I remembered most when I watched this movie the first time, like 5 years ago.
Oh, was that
shot
that
of the
purple,
pig demon in the window? Yeah,
the purple pig, which I could never even tell it was a pig until I watched it. I
remember
couldn't
just being
tell.
like, what the fuck is?
What the hell is that?
Yeah.
Because I just saw the eyes.
Yeah.
And then there was that other scene with the same eyes
yeah.
that just I rolled. It made me laugh so hard.
Yeah, I actually liked that scene. I thought it was fairly effective.
With the eyes moving like that.
Like not the one motion where it goes, but just the setup.
Her face was just the fakest horror bit I'd. Oh my god! This is
Margot Kidder.
This is where it starts. This is where horror Oh my god! This is where the humor starts.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was the structuring of the scene that I thought was really effective personally.
It just makes me laugh every time. Now, granted, if I had watched this in 1979, it'd be a completely different
in a dark
story.
theater surrounded by people who were also shitting themselves.
It would be a completely different story, but me watching this in 2019,
with
going
me,
back and watching this, I've rolled on.
Yeah.
I just rolled. But that it's just, fuck that whole scene with the fucking eye. I think I screamed laugh for a very long time, and I laughed at you questioning about the window.
Oh yeah,
I laughed at you doing that.
There's a scene where the little girl's two brothers are trying to fuck with her by dangling a spider out of the window on top of her head, and they like turn around when Margot Kidder walks in, and the one kid's got his hands on the windowsill, and then the window just slams down on it.
Okay, so, and then you and I got into a kind of a heated debate.
I don't think we got into a heated debate.
I yelled at you.
Like, I was just like, what were the rate? Because, like, it smashes on him, and then, like, there's, like, blood fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
And
because, okay, so window panes back then are fucking heavier. My grandmother had an older house. We grew up with an older house.
Yeah.
Like, they're heavy as fuck. And when they release, that could potentially happen. His little boy knuckles that could have fucking completely smashed. But then they go back in the movie and be like, his hand didn't fucking break. But there was just blood everywhere. Because they mentioned that was weird.
Yeah.
So, no, I think that totally could have happened. Maybe not with a blood spurt like that. It probably would have happened slower.
Yeah.
But, like, at least knuckles breaking.
No, I believe...
Because they're heavy.
Yeah.
Like, that thick... Because they were such thick fucking glass that you could also barely see through, by the way. Because at at one of the older houses that we lived at, that had those kinds of windows.
Yeah.
That you had to be very careful that they wouldn't... I laughed at you questioning all of that. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Domestic violence.
Domestic violence. James Brolin slaps Margot Kidder in this movie.
Yeah.
It's because he's going crazy, or...
But, like, how this scene was orchestrated, again, I laughed. You're not supposed to laugh at domestic violence.
No.
Obviously, you never laugh at that.
Yeah.
But it was just the way the smack and then the like, right after, like, it didn't match.
Wasn't really choreographed well.
It did, at least to me, it didn't match. And so I laughed really hard.
And then he's doing the, here's Johnny thing with the axe later, and then Margot Kidder, like, stops him because she had a dream about him killing her kids, and now it looks like it's actually happening, and he's about to kill her too because, again, he's crazy, and she's just pushed her to the ground, and she's got this, like, weird makeup effect.
Yeah, because it's that's what happened in the book. Because I had to look that up. Like, it wasn't just added in there. That was because he had said that had happened to her.
And then he, like, comes to his senses, and he's like, I would never hurt you, except for that one time when
I hit you. But, this is 70s. You're allowed to beat your wife. It's
oh,
fine.
Yeah, totally.
We're married now. Obviously, you're my property. That's how that works. I love this movie for all the wrong reasons. I love this movie because it makes me laugh. I love the actual story because it's intriguing and interesting.
Yeah.
But this movie in itself always makes me giggle. It is just always a treat every time I see it. Because it's always at weird moments. It's never a horror movie that I'll be like, yeah, fuck it, let's watch that. It always happens at weird times.
Yeah.
Like, it maybe happens once every 10 years. Like, once every 2 years, I'll put on this movie.
Yeah.
It's never a choice. But it's always a good treat when it happens after you haven't seen it in a while. The Ryan Reynolds one is just a mess. It's just a lot. Which eventually we'll talk about that one, I guess, because we'll just start running out of movies and have to just be like, you know what, we have to talk about this one.
We do remakes,
Yeah.
We've done these series before.
We've talked about remakes before.
Yeah, we have.
Maybe twice.
Maybe.
Well, if you guys want to see a series out of this, please do tell us of us talking about all of the whole Conjuring
bullshit
stories. That, or if you want us to break down every single one of these movies, I'll reluctantly do it just because I'll do anything for content and views.
Anything?
Especially
that.
Slutty stuff. Like boofing. Do you have a Screaming Peach rating?
5. It's not stellar.
It's not good.
No.
I respect it.
I don't.
I do.
I don't.
Because it's an OG. I like certain moments of it, but it's not stellar.
It's not at all.
The story, it's not even just like the special effects or anything that are bad. Because I thought the old woman face was actually a pretty good...
Just didn't get it.
I only got it until after I had looked it up and why it wasn't there. I thought she at least looked right. Mm-hmm. The evolution of making George look crazy as fuck,
yeah.
I thought they did that pretty tastefully and just kind of slowly started.
I think that's easily the best thing about this movie is watching this guy just lose his mind.
I think so too.
Yeah. I think they did that better than The Shining did.
I'm not trying to compare the two because it's apples to oranges.
They're the same.
They're different but the same.
Yeah.
It's odd.
So what's your Screaming Peach rating?
I think we have to agree with you.
Okay, so both of us are 5 out of 10.
I think so.
Yeah.
I loved it and hated it.
Yeah.
But it's always a treat when I watch it.
It's
a certain horror movies. I feel like it should be its own category and be like, you're gonna
laugh at this even though you're not supposed to.
But so it's still entertaining.
Yeah.
I'm not completely like, what the fuck is this?
I mean, I guess that's the important thing, is that you're entertained.
Is that you leave entertained. I like the story in itself.
I would personally argue that, truth is also an important thing, but whatever.
What do you mean?
I guess we'll never know. Well, just the authenticity of the story and all.
Well, yeah. We'll never know.
Yeah.
Because, again, they died with that secret. So, we will never fucking know.
I think we know.
I think we know, too. But either way, it's still an interesting story to me. The fact that I think it was his name, Robert DeFeo? I think what made it interesting is that he said that it was voices he was hearing. And then, what? He found out that he had some kind of fucking disorder.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. So, I don't know if it was the house or so much he went crazy. But again,
I think I know which one it was.
I think we know too.
Yeah.
But it's still fun. It's still interesting.
Give it a watch. Tell us what you think down in the comments.
Yeah. Tell me if you want for us to break down all these fucking movies.
Let us know if you want us to cover the
Warren cases.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that kind of shit's fascinating to me. Again, true or not, still fascinating. Or let me know if you want me to watch every single one of those fucking Amityville horror remakes or sequels or some shit, because I'll blow my head off, but I'll fucking do it.
That's gonna look terrible on our playlist.
Oh.
It's gonna be the Amityville Horror, 1979. The Amityville Horror, 1985. The Amityville Horror, 1996.
It's just gonna be a lot. We're gonna have to start to, figure out how to make them... it's gonna be a mess. Anyways, thank you guys for watching.
Like, share, subscribe. Comment with your thoughts.
Eat my ass.
Thank you guys so much for listening.
Ass. Thank you for listening to a Peaches and Scream podcast. My name is Ellie, and please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe.